He fights out of Riverside, California, Patrick the Kurgan Becker. Your referee for our final prelim, Jonathan Romero.
Jonathan Romero gets the call in our final prelim bout of the evening. The welterweights on display. Saad Hassan in the white trunks takes on Patrick Becker in the black trunks with the orange trim. And this will be our final bout here on YouTube, guys, if you want to see the rest of tonight's card, which is going to be amazing. You're going to want to do that on UFC Fight Pass. Jim Cooley, the voice of champions. Corey Poppins McKenna, UFC strawweight. And, of course, the legend, Uriah Faber, joins us back in the booth now. He didn't want to leave us alone. He didn't want to let us do it, Corey. He needed to be here.
So just to elaborate on what I said earlier, I know I mentioned that Saad had 100% finishes, whether he won or he lost. He also has never seen a third round, regardless.
Wow.
So, yeah, definitely looking at a high-paced fight tonight, I feel.
And you'd love to see what happens if he does go to a third round. Right now, Patrick Becker moving quickly, and I'll tell you what, the very first outside leg kick he threw hurt Hassan. He reacted very cringy when he got kicked in that leg. So Patrick Becker throwing some hammers out there, and so is Hassan.
Man, this has been a fire first minute already. These guys are going for war. I mean, they're bad intentions in these kicks. Decker's just right in his face stalking him. This is a great fight already.
Yeah, Saad switched stances there before throwing that kick, and then a body hook. He's aiming for that liver, so it's nice to see him mixing up those levels, and I'm liking his striking so far.
So just 4 fights for Patrick Becker, 11 fights for Saad Hassan. It's quite a bit of experience there.
Saad's really taking his time, but it's hard to do that when you got a guy like Becker just in your face. I mean, he's intense in the way he's standing, he's intense in the way he's throwing, and Saad's trying to slow play it, but it's hard when you got a guy that's got the opposite mentality.
You guys see that Tachi Palace logo in the center of the cage? We'll be back there April 28th for for A1 Combats 10. That'll be April 28th on UFC Fight Pass. And that's going to be a good show as well. Sanchez versus Jenkins, A1C10. But now, go ahead.
I like how Saad's, like I said, being very patient. He's kind of fielding, hard punches, hard kicks. Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Bodied and overhand. Oh,
and
wow.
Again,
Patrick Becker's hurt.
Wow.
He's hurt bad. This fight might be
nasty
over.
punch. Wow.
And he lands a couple of his own.
Becker's back. That was incredible, man.
He's going to look for a half-hearted double leg, but it looks like...
Oh, nice. Smart choice here. If you can hold him down, get a little bit of recovery time, but that guillotine is deep.
Clearly some wrestling from Becker, and he is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so let's see what he can do now against Patrick Becker.
He hops straight over those legs to the right side. If you're across the body, that guillotine's nullified and, opens him up for that Von Flue. So he clearly has good knowledge on the ground, and I'm sure he'll be looking to take some recovery time here and control Saad.
Halfway through round number 1. A lot of fireworks already.
Oh, that knee was brutal.
They got Uriah Faber to say wow about 5 times in a row, so they're doing something in there good.
Man, I love fights like this. This reminds me of what a fight's supposed to be like. I love technical fights, but these guys are trying to take each other's heads off.
Big jab there from Becker, and both guys landed big shots. Big right hand from Hassan. Becker's hurt again, but he was hurt a minute ago, and he landed big shots of his own, and going to the body is Hassan.
Man, Becker has got some guts. He's coming back from some nasty punches. This is a great fight.
Cast iron jaw as well, Uriah Faber.
2-minute mark. Oh, nice overhand.
He's having a lot of success with that overhand, and I like the way he's setting it up with the body shots to keep Becker guessing.
I like that because Becker, he feinted the takedown, and then he waited for the punch, then he went underneath, changed levels, and took him down. And now he's landing big shots from underneath. Becker is pretty seasoned for a guy with 4 fights.
Great timing on the shot.
Neck crank. This guy's crossed the chin here, but that does hurt.
Really got to fight hands here. I'm surprised he didn't start earlier on attacking those hands. He's got a body lock.
Yeah, he's doing a good job here. He's going to look to get his shoulders to the mat and start turning, hopefully get that right elbow down to get rid of that arm triangle. Oh, Becker's one step ahead. That looks deep.
Oh, here we go. As you said,
nice.
Arm triangle. He's going to abandon that, but he's got full mount now. Patrick Becker, who was taking some huge shots, is now winning this round.
Very good positional awareness on the ground here from Becker. He's doing a good job at not overextending himself or losing the position, as Saad is obviously not moving. Yeah, great amount of control time for Becker here.
This one's a little bit deeper.
Needs to get back in the neck. He needs to start defending the neck again.
He's got the body triangle as well.
He's waiting too long for the hand fighting. He needs a hand fight right now.
Yeah, I feel like some people get too comfortable with having their chin in, but we see it time and time again. It's definitely getting a lot more common, like these finishes where guys have their chin in and they're almost like using the chin to get that choke.
So I'm asking you guys both right now, because most of this first round, Becker was eating huge shots, but since then he's been dominating. Who's winning this round?
I think Becker's obviously winning now. This is about as dominant as you can get in a UFC fight. Elbows from a full mount.
Lots of blood coming out of the eye and the mouth of Saad Hassan. Big shots from Becker.
I think that this is stalled around for Becker. You know, we've got the damage, we've got significant strikes.
He's about to finish.
He's being very offensive here. This
Not a lot of time, though.
work.
No time there, so that's not a stoppage. That's the end of the round. But Patrick Becker came to fight. And look at that look he gave him on the way out.
I'll tell you what, when you got a guy like Saad, he's waiting just a little bit too long when he goes to his knees. He could have gone to his back or tried to stand up. You can't stand and wait, otherwise you're going to get in trouble.
So here's the big overhand right that Corey talked about, followed by an uppercut. He landed that overhand right several times. There it is again. But I'll tell you what, I just noticed. Both eyes of Patrick Becker are cut above the eye. That's very dangerous. He's bleeding above both eyes, and they both look very deep.
Is it Becker or Saad?
Saad, I'm sorry, Saad.
Yes.
Yeah, and you saw our cut man, John Michael, got in there and immediately started trying to stop both cuts at the same time. And by the way, he's bleeding from his mouth as well.
Yeah, that was those brutal elbows from on top from Becker, and he did a great job at not just his positional awareness, but also using it to land his offense, as opposed to like we saw in the last fight, just trying to control the fight. He is trying to finish the fight, and it's a very exciting fight for the crowd.
Yeah, Becker is a dog. Becker is a dog 100%. He took some nasty punches clean to the jaw, and it pissed him off. He came back stronger, got some dominant shots, and got into a really dominant position. And Saad's still in this fight. I think he was,
he's beat up, though. He's wearing that damage.
But he's in the fight, too. This is a great fight. I love this fight.
So Becker's got to avoid that overhand right, and Saad Hassan needs to not get taken down, because that ground and pound from Becker is ferocious.
Saad definitely does look to have slowed down a little bit, or at least he is a little bit more hesitant. So I would say that damage definitely played a part in his mentality going into this round.
I can see it a little bit too. Let's see if he can get some of that back.
How much does it mentally play into you guys when there's blood dripping down your face at the end of a round?
I would say for me 0%. I've seen Corey licking blood on her in her fights when I'm in the corner. This is a deep choke for.
Oh,
he got out of it. Here comes Becker, like you said, he's a dog.
Becker's a dog, man. It's gonna be exciting to watch him climb the ranks in this division.
And he's gonna take him down again. This time he's in the closed guard.
I feel like Saad's just making some bad decisions in the grappling.
That eye is open again, and here come those elbows.
Staying too long on his knees, locking the guard. A closed lock guard is not a great position for MMA.
You also mentioned that he's not hand fighting quick enough when he does give up his back.
He cannot be putting his head on the mat. I mean, I know it's harder. It's easier to say than to do when you're in a fight like this, but he's got to get his head off the mat, create some sort of curvature in his back so he can start creating some energy. You can't just lay there with your legs crossed. Not going to be a good choice.
Yeah, exactly. This position is almost an accepting position. He's not even threatening submissions or sweeps or anything. He's literally looking to negate damage, and like he's trying to stop punches and everything. But it's hard to defend flat on your back. Like, you're better off eating a couple and just trying to get
up
and
something.
And fight awareness. You've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds. You cannot take a break here and let the other guy get momentum. I used to love it when jiu-jitsu players would jump on a closed guard.
Big right hand from Patrick Becker, and as Corey said, those elbows are literally designed to cut you. That's the point of throwing those elbows at the eyebrows. They are there just to cut you open. And that's exactly what he's doing with them as well.
Becker's doing a great job of staying busy, because if you don't stay busy, they could always close it up. You cannot lay with your head on the mat and not create some sort of motion. Finally, he's got his head off the mat, but he laid it right back down to rest.
That was a deep breath. Saad is tired here.
He's very tired.
Half-hearted attempt at an armbar was about all he's done in this position.
Saad is taking
They're going to stop it. So referee John Romero is going to stop this contest, and Patrick Becker is fired up, because guess what? He was getting beat up for that first half of that first round.
You know what? I think it was a smart decision. Normally I would say no, but Saad had 2.5 minutes left, and his head was bouncing off the cage. No change of positions. I'm hoping the ref warned him to change positions, but
There was definitely a look of acceptance on his face. He wasn't really trying to get up. He was taking, deep breaths. He wasn't really doing anything, like you said, to advance that position. So it was definitely trending that way, even if the ref necessarily decided to give it a little bit longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
Saad, my takeaway is Saad has some really fluid, dangerous striking. Becker is a dog.
Yeah.
When he's in a fight, he's in a fight for his life.
And here we go with some replays.
Mentality-wise. I
There's the
love
big
that.
right hand. There's blood already coming down. This is definitely round number 2 here. Some of the damage that we saw. I mean, there's just a lot of blood around the forehead area of Saad Hassan. Patrick Becker showed up, showed out. I mean, he was devastating. And
Yeah, I know Corey's watching this. We have a whole bunch of series from here. There's a mitigating damage series. There's a Z guard, a high guard, bucking out into some butterflies and the X guards, etc. You got to get some tools off the bottom. You got to have a game plan off the bottom. And I think the punches didn't help. Fatigue doesn't help. But you got to have some go-to instincts that you create outside in practice, so you're not sitting there in a closed guard. So that's my advice for Saad moving forward.
there you go. Advice from Uriah Faber, the legend himself, Hall of Famer. But right now, Garrett Fertig is going to give us that official decision.
Referee Jonathan Romero has waved off the contest at 2 minutes, 24 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Patrick the Kurgan Becker.
So Garrett is going to talk to our winner, Patrick Becker, as his girlfriend, Jackie Cataline, looks on. PFL fighter.
All right, I'm here with your winner, Pat Becker. Brother, you throw heavy hands. Oh, yes, you do. You should have seen me and our commentators just going, oh, both you guys back and forth. What did you want to do in this fight?
I just wanted to beat the guy, Yeah, I just wanted to beat him. I just wanted to outclass him. I thought I would, and I did. I just want to give all the credit to my team, my girlfriend, my coach, and all my partners at Millennia MMA. Everything else? Oh, no, that's it. My family who came out to watch, thank you guys so much. I love you guys.
All right, man, your jiu-jitsu was slick on the ground as well. Once you got that mount, it was just beating him. I mean, did you think that he was going to finish him earlier than you did?
No, I mean, he was landing shots too, and started putting some flurries on me when he would land a shot. So I was just trying to weather that storm. It was a little bit, I thought his grappling would be a little bit more for me to deal with, but I'm also a grappler, so I was just really well prepared.
All right, man, well, it was a pleasure watching you work. Good to see you got another win. Your winner by TKO, Patrick the Kurgan Becker.
All right, guys, that is all for us here on YouTube. If you want to see the rest of the night, you got to make your way over to UFC Fight Pass. 6 big fights coming your way, and you guys are not going to want to miss it, including our big main event. Peyton Talbot, Christian Rivas, Eddie Bernal's in the building to take on Billy Brand. Amar Hernandez will take on Gilbert Nakatani. We also have Teruto Ishihara, UFC vet, in the building, taking on another UFC vet in his opponent, Willie. So that's going to be a great night, guys. Make sure you make your way over to UFC Fight Pass. For Corey Poppins McKenna, Uriah Faber, the California Kid, and Jim Cooley, thanks for joining us on YouTube. We'll see you guys in 45 minutes.